Hey everyone, I am Shannon Norris, and I am beyond grateful and honored to be considered to be the charity that you guys are supporting. Let me give you a little background about me. So I live in Bowie, Maryland with my husband. We've been married for 9 years on the 1st of March. And we live here with our foster daughter. She's about 15 months old. We're hoping to adopt her soon, hopefully this year. A little background story about how Shannon's Comfy Chemo Care Bag project came about. At the age of 34, I was diagnosed with a stage 2 invasive ductal carcinoma breast cancer. I found my own lump in my right breast. And after many months of my primary care doctor telling me that it was nothing, that I was fine, that all women my age had dense breasts, I finally got him to give me an ultrasound. And at the time, I didn't know anything about cancer. So I was like, okay, well, this is something. So I went in, had the ultrasound done. It took him a while, but it came back clear, and I was elated. Now, mind you, this was in, I apologize, this was in July of 2016 when I found my lump. And so the ultrasound took place shortly after that. And so I said, great, awesome. And then some time passed, and I knew that I was going to see my lady doctor because we weren't getting pregnant. We had been married March 1st, 2014. And we were not trying for 2 years. Not trying, let's say that, for 2 years. So I knew I was seeing her in November, so I was like, I'll bring it up again then. So I go to see her, we have a conversation, she asked if there's anything else, and I said, I found this lump, and my doctor says, it's nothing. She touched it and said, Shannon, you're going for a mammogram right now. So the next morning I went for a mammogram, which turned into an ultrasound, which turned into a biopsy. And of course this happened, I think it was the Monday right before Thanksgiving. So everybody was on break. So I had to wait until the following Monday, and the results came back and it was inconclusive. There wasn't enough evidence for them to call it cancer. So I had to go back in and get another biopsy. I don't know if you've ever had a biopsy, but they're not fun. So anyway, so I went back in, I had a second biopsy, and they called me back the next day and said, yeah, you have stage 2 invasive ductal carcinoma breast cancer. And this was on November 30th, 2016. I went in the next day and started the whirlwind of doctor appointments. I met with many breast surgeons and many plastic surgeons, and I made my choices based upon what I knew. And anyway, long story short, I ended up having a lumpectomy with a double breast reduction because they told me there was no greater chance of my cancer coming back if I had a lumpectomy versus a double mastectomy. And at the time, like I said, I was 34 years old. We just got married. We hadn't started a family yet. And I said, well, I mean, statistics don't lie, so let's do this. So I went in for my my lumpectomy, and the pathology came back and they found additional cancer. They didn't know where it came from at this point because once you have a breast reduction, they kind of jumble everything up. So I went back in 2 weeks later and had both of my breasts removed. It was just the smartest thing. Then after that, I started chemotherapy and ended up in the hospital for 4 days with an infection in my chest. When I had a double breast reduction, they put expanders in my chest. Expanders help to stretch your skin so that later down the line, you can put in implants. Anyway, so I went through chemotherapy, then I started hormone suppression. My cancer was estrogen positive, so therefore they need to stop my body from producing estrogen, So I did that for 5 years, gained myself like 50, 60 pounds. That was fun. Been in menopause since I was 34. I'm now 40. Anyway, long story short, while I was going through chemotherapy, I decided that I wanted to give back in some kind of way. And I asked family and friends, I said, hey, would you guys be willing to donate some money so I can make some bags for other warriors going through exactly what I'm going through, or similar adult cancer warriors. So they started doing that, and then I started feeling bad about asking people for money without them, being able to write it off. So I went through the long, expensive process of becoming a 501c3. And so now I do that out of my home, and I became an official nonprofit charity in April of 2019. So I've been doing this since 2017, and I serve all adult cancer warriors, and I serve all over the country. So since I couldn't have children, that's where the foster daughter came in. My husband and I went through the process of becoming foster to adopt parents in our county, and we've got the most precious, perfect child that anybody could ever ask for. So, right? Sometimes unanswered prayers are the best prayers, right? So anyway, I am now 5 years out from my cancer, 6 years out from my cancer diagnosis, 5 years out from treatment. I am no longer on any medicines. So I'm still in menopause. I don't know if my body will ever go back, which I'm kind of okay with, I guess, at this point. I'm just, happy to be alive and happy to be able to serve adult cancer warriors like myself. And, I teach full time. I teach second grade. And I just finished my master's degree, and I got this wonderful little baby. So, I try my best to get bags out at least once or twice a month. Sometimes I get them out faster if they're local. Sometimes I drop them off. But I do this. I love it. It's my passion, and I wish it was the only thing that I had to do, because then I could serve so many more people and families. I wish there was just a cure for cancer. I wouldn't even have to do this. But we know how that goes. So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you, all of you, so much. For considering this mission, because it's near and dear to my heart. When you're in, when you become part of the cancer world, you just meet so many people. And unfortunately, part of this job, I end up losing so many people. But because of them, they're the ones, they keep me going. Their fight's not in vain, and nobody fights alone. So I'm going to do whatever I can, and I can't do this without people like you. So, share my story, share my mission. Let me know how I can help you all. I'm going to send you a second little video of what my chemo bag room looks like. Please pardon my mess. I only have so much space in this tiny little house, but we did have a room renovated just for my chemo bags. But when I'm working on bags, it gets a little crowded and messy. So anyway, thank you again. Bless you all. And please let me know what I can do to help you guys as you're doing this for me. I appreciate you. Thank you, and God bless.